Here's my key, philosophy. A freak like me just needs infinity.
Awesome track. All right. So we had a black hole here today, but those of you who saw Beyond the Black Hole would have seen some Venus paraphernalia. Venus paraphernalia. It's an odd one, Venus. We're just going to catch the tail end of it. It's a bit busy. My head seems to have gotten past the worst of it. Mr. Bats earlier. That's Jupiter. So they say. And that, well, goes by the name La Luna. It's a bit weird, isn't it? What's going on there? Oh, you never can tell what's going on with the moon lately, can you? And Venus, there it is. Conveniently going over the roof of the neighbour's house. Now the thing is with Venus, we have the Sun, Mercury, Venus, and then us. But it spends an awful lot of time in the night sky, in our night sky. And considering it's between us and the Sun, you know, a bit strange. What did you say, Luna? Probably the iPhone that's making it look like that. You never can tell with technology nowadays. Now, the thing about Venus, I've got it here as well, see? It's Venus right there. It's going through one of its phases. Just like the moon, goes through phases, right? You know, we have the crescent waxing and the populus waxing and the other phases it goes through. But the thing with Venus, I get that the moon has phases. I'm not saying anything here, okay? Our mate Fredo screamed about it. Somebody else screamed about it the other day. It's 20 times as bright as Sirius. Sirius is the brightest star in the night sky, northern and southern hemisphere. It's 12 times as bright as Mars when Mars is having an average day, its average. It's a weird one, that, isn't it? It's 12 times as bright as Mars when Mars is having an average night. 6 times as bright as Jupiter, biggest planet, and the 3rd brightest, I do believe. But the thing is, it is between us and the Sun. So right now, the Sun's gone down, and we're seeing Venus, and it's It's like it's going, it's one of its phases, isn't it? We see it. We have the I'll be back line, the terminator line, day, that way, because there is the sun, and there is Venus. But we always see Venus on the night side of the I'll be back line, the terminator line. It is a little bit odd. I know those of you that think you understand the science, you'll be saying, what are you talking about? It's perfectly logical. Is it though? We see an awful lot of Venus in our night sky for a planet that is in between the sun and us, is all I'm saying. It's millions and millions and millions of miles and millions and millions and millions of kilometers away from us and away from the sun. Mercury, we're not talking about you today. Mercury is pretty trouble-free, isn't it? Keeps to himself. But this one, for a planet to be so bright and is irregular in our night sky. So they call it the evening star, don't they? And the morning star. Don't let that fool you. Don't let that fool you. It's one to think about. With everything else that's going on, there is so much going on, isn't there? Have you seen all of the fallout from the Artemis? Even her hair, it looked like it was filmed, I don't know, sometime last year. Look, there are a group of people, a nice group of people, right, who believe Artemis. So we have moon landings, right? Moon landings. We've got Artemis. We have the Voyagers. We have Ingenuity. Along with Perseverance. Curiosity. What else have we got? We've got the Parker Solar Probe. Parker Solar Probe, its claim to fame. Well, the Parker Solar Probe got caught up in a solar mass ejection, in a coronal mass ejection. That's a proper, straight up, kosher solar flare. It was between 4 and 5 sun diameters away from the sun, doing a couple of loops, like Artemis just did around the moon. And the sun did one. And the Parker Solar Probe, because of the white, it's got a white shield about that thick. It's got a gallon of water and a radiator, and it was able to withstand the CME, the coronal mass ejection, and it filmed footage. We now know what it's like to be caught in a coronal mass ejection, and it sent that footage back to Earth, which is it's a claim to fame, right? You won't get many solar probes doing that. Then we have this list There's stuff missing from Mars. Perseverance, ingenuity, curiosity. What's the other one? There's a few more. They're all the same thing. Ingenuity's got an autonomous program, right, which allows it to do stuff spontaneous, like I do. It just does something not expected. And that allows NASA to do other stuff, which is, it's handy for NASA, that ingenuity. My point is, there's people who believe all of these things here, okay? So, F, fake, no, false, T, true. So, fake, didn't happen, obviously not. Now, you don't even have to think about these things. It's a bit awkward. How have we ended up with people believing this stuff and so many people knowing that things are not what they seem? How has this happened? There'll be people screaming in the background now. Of course they went to the moon 6 times between 1969 and 1972. And the last 3 took buggies, moon buggies up there. If you haven't seen them, I know I should have been an artist, but maybe when I finished with dealing with absurdities, right? They took moon buggies up there. They took moon buggies up to the moon. Sorry. Parker Solar Probe, another one. I think this one is DART. When there's an asteroid, who are you going to call? DART busters. It is the thing, but not an asteroid off course by, what was it, 3 degrees or something. Poor people. What have they done to you? What have they done to you? Now, the only thing that's real lately is what have we got that's real? Something. That's where we're at, folks. Me, I'm going through stuff at the moment. I'm actually struggling sending my son to school because it's all fucking lies. Everything is lies. These are real. They didn't. Folks, we are not in crisis mode, but we're definitely going through it right now. I was saying that the flat earth seems to have gathered a lot of traction For me, it's always going to be about aeroplanes not going down. If you had a spirit level and the plane took off, bubble would surely go to the front, up. When it leveled out, if the pilot was a good pilot and everything was hunky-dory, get the bubble in the middle, be level. If it dropped, there would be a sensation of dropping. It's purely common sense. I know people don't like that term, but it is. The water, folks. These are the things for me. Nothing's changed, right? Nothing's changed. Let's put it next to the flat earth. I mean, look at all of that water. It's mesmerizing, isn't it? So much agua. It isn't logical, folks. It isn't logical. You can't really call gravity with the moon because the other bodies of water would shift. We wouldn't have the highest tides in the Bay of Fundy, in the Bristol Channel, in, what's the other one? Ungava Bay, in the Cook Inlet, down in Argentina, in Los Gallegos. Why are all the massive tides, the highest tides on the planet, all away from the equator? Why? Why does, when the water comes in, this is my own observation, I do like to add it because one day I think it will be written about. Water comes up, as it's coming in, you're on a boat, you know how it goes. The anchor would be that way, the boat would push that way, tides start coming in and rising, and then it comes to a stop. The anchor falls straight down, and then when it drops the same way that it came. That's not logical either. It is not logical. There's all of these things, it's not just one thing. And then we have the moon itself. I took some happy snaps of it today during the day. You see it in the sky, all right? It's in the blue sky. Sky's blue. That's obviously green. This is the sky. This is the moon. We had a half moon, like a crescent thing. All right? You can see that bit. This is during the day. And the bit that's missing is sky blue. I know there will be those that understand the science going, what, dickhead? But you don't understand the science. If we see half of the moon, why on earth is the half that the sun is not lighting up? Why is it the exact same colour? Blue. Sky blue. What is that? What is that? Why is it sky blue? The exact same blue. What is that? there's all these things, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. Now, people, seriously, if everybody thinks all this stuff, if there are people out there somehow finding all of these things, I mean, where are we? What are we doing? Who's right and who's wrong? It's a lot of things that are all false. They are. They're all the proverbial bullshit. Artemis, apparently they had to turn comments off because people are starting to go, what's that smell? Aren't they? Then you've got to ask yourself, the amount of money, the amount of man hours, the elaborate, it's the quality, the amount of effort that has been put in to deceive El Público. That's unparalleled. We haven't had deceit like this since, Mamma Mia, since Big Bang, evolution, the dinosaurs, Greek philosophy, Bible, shoulders of giants. It's just this, so many lies. All of them I do believe are obvious, and you know what they all promote? The pyramids, evidence that there was somebody here a long, long time ago. I can still remember how that music used to make me cry. Now, see, I'm trying not to get too worked up today because I had a good day with my head. But that could soon come to an end if I start thinking, but it's stuff too much, isn't it? One thing is for sure. It's the people who think for themselves who are struggling with these. That's right there, that's a truth, right? So if people can be objective and say to themselves, hang on, now let's think about this. We all believe the horseradish, and it's what we were all taught. You've got all of these people out there thinking for themselves, and all of them, they keep calling BS on this and that and the other, especially on Artemis. I mean, we just saw. For me, it's the lies that science is telling that is making me seriously lean towards that. And please don't say something like, well, explain this or explain that, because it's getting to the stage where somebody is going to get some. Let's just get this off of it. Now, I drew that because I wanted to understand what it was we're dealing with. I drew the other one, the smaller one on that white board, so that I don't know, I can take it with me if I go camping or something. The pyramids have been submerged. That was one of my other big ones, see? See, for me, it's all boom, 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 boom. It all ties in. Now, don't forget, folks, what you have yourselves here is a self-proclaimed atheist. I never believed in anything hocus pocus. I always thought it was round. I didn't have any reason to believe otherwise. It wasn't something that was pushed on me. I just presumed. Presumption. Naughty. It never came up. Whenever I flew with my head up against the windows of the planes, I look back now. I do look back now. Look, there's no curvature. It's flat. It's as flat as a fucking pancake. Lemon and sugar on. That's a crepe. But it's the same deal. It's crazy. So here I am, at my age, right? There's people that are young teenagers, 20s, in their 30s, and they're all, my whole life! I thought it was round. Religion, God, you teach children to believe in themselves. You don't teach them to kneel and to pray in times of adversity. You teach them to act, to look after themselves, to defend themselves, to work stuff out. Don't hand it over to a third party, cross your fingers and hope for the best. That is not helping anybody. It's helping people who want to see people not helping themselves, if you know what I mean. But here we are, all of a sudden, I'm finding myself presented with, that's not seagulls, by the way, that's New Zealand. I will do better. It's insane, but it's not insane. That's Australia. This is Asia. That's India. That's Africa. That's South America. That's North America. And Canada, sorry. That's the North Pole. Everywhere where you go south, Antarctica. From Africa you go south, Antarctica. South America you go south, Antarctica. From the west of the US, you think you cross the Pacific, wouldn't you? Pyramids have been submerged. Doesn't work, not that amount of water and for that long. And it was a lot of water, and it was for a long time. It's purely common sense, folks. I know you don't like that term. Look, we're coming up to half an hour. This was just a little catch up. By the way, for those of you who do follow my shenanigans, it's been at least a year and a bit that I've been staying sometime towards the end of April 2026, maybe going into May the first week, a supernova, something. Remember those of you that follow my shenanigans, we're here. It is now coming up to that time. Just a hunch, a premonition, which I have a pretty good strike rate with, but you would have had to be following me for a long time to understand how successful or how lucky I've been. It was just a hunch. I'm going to keep it at half an hour. We're back. There's a lot to look at, folks. All right, stay frosty, folks. Stay frosty.